You're 6 years old. You wake up in the morning wearing Mickey Mouse pajamas. You eat breakfast watching Disney Junior. Your lunchbox has Frozen characters on it. After school, you play with Marvel action figures. At night, your parents read you a Disney storybook before bed. Fast forward 20 years. You're an adult now. You watch Marvel movies with friends. You binge Star Wars shows on Disney+. You take your kids to Disneyland. You buy them the same Mickey Mouse merchandise you had as a kid. Here's the thing. You never left Disney. From the moment you were born to right now, Disney has been there. In your childhood, your adulthood, your memories, your kids' lives. And here's the craziest part. This didn't happen by accident. Disney isn't just a movie company that makes fun films. No. Disney is one of the most brilliant control systems ever built. And I'm not talking about some conspiracy theory nonsense. I'm talking about cold, calculated business strategy that quietly took over the entire entertainment industry without most people even noticing. Stick with me because I'm about to show you how one single company, redesigned the rules of entertainment so completely that competition basically doesn't exist anymore. By the end, you'll never look at a Disney movie the same way again. Let's dive in. When I say Disney, what comes to mind? Magic, right? Childhood wonder, Mickey Mouse, Cinderella's castle, happily ever after. Wholesome family entertainment, the company that makes people smile. That's the brand. That's what they want you to see. But here's what you don't see. Disney is not a movie company. Yeah, you heard that right. Movies are just a front door, the thing that gets your attention. The real business? Control. Control over what stories get made. Control over where those stories appear. Control over how often you see them. Control over what your kids grow up watching. And once you control all of that, you don't need to make the best movies anymore. You just need to make sure your movies are everywhere. Let me show you how they pulled this off. Most people think Disney has always been this unstoppable giant. Wrong. In the early days, Disney nearly went bankrupt multiple times. Walt Disney, the founder, was a creative genius, but he was terrible with money. He'd pour everything into a single film, bet the entire company on it, and pray it succeeded. Sometimes it worked. Snow White was a massive hit in 1937, saved the company. But other times, total disasters. Pinocchio bombed at the box office. Fantasia lost money. Bambi barely broke even. By the 1940s, Disney was drowning in debt. The company was about to collapse. Walt Disney learned a brutal lesson. Hits are unreliable. You can make the greatest movie ever, but if the market doesn't respond, you're screwed. So Disney made a decision that would change everything. They stopped depending on movies alone. Instead, they started building something way more powerful: a system. Here's where it gets interesting. Disney realized something most studios didn't. A movie is just one product, but a character is forever. Think about it. You watch a movie once, maybe twice, then you move on. But a character, you can sell that character for decades. Mickey Mouse appeared in a cartoon in 1928. That's almost 100 years ago. And Mickey is still generating money today. Merchandise, theme parks, licensing deals. One character, a century of revenue. So Disney's strategy shifted. Step 1, make a hit movie. Step 2, turn the characters into franchises. Step 3, sell those characters everywhere. Toys, clothes, lunchboxes, bedsheets, video games, theme park rides. Suddenly, Disney wasn't just making money from movies, they were making money from everything connected to the movies. But they didn't stop there, because Disney realized something even more powerful. If you control the characters, you still depend on hits. But if you control where the characters appear, you control everything. And that's when Disney made the move that changed the game forever. Here's the thing most people miss. Content is temporary. Distribution is permanent. Let me explain. Anyone can make a great movie. Seriously. Pixar did it, DreamWorks did it, even small indie studios have made incredible films. But here's the problem. Where do those movies go? Theaters? Sure, but theaters are controlled by a few big chains. TV? Yep, but TV networks decide what airs. Streaming? Absolutely, but streaming platforms control what gets featured. Disney figured out the secret. If you own the platforms, you don't need the best content. You just need your content to be unavoidable. So what did Disney do? They started buying everything. 1985, Disney buys its own TV network, Disney Channel. Now Disney movies and shows air on their own channel. No middleman. 1995, Disney buys ABC, one of the biggest TV networks in America. Now Disney controls primetime television. 2006, Disney buys Pixar. Pixar made Toy Story, Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, some of the best animated films ever. Disney bought them for $7.4 billion. 2009, Disney buys Marvel. Spider-Man, Iron Man, The Avengers. Disney bought it for $4 billion. At the time, people thought Disney overpaid. Today, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has made over $30 billion. Disney turned $4 billion into $30 billion. 2012, Disney buys Lucasfilm, Star Wars. George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney for $4 billion. Star Wars is one of the most valuable franchises in history. Disney now owns it. 2019, Disney buys 21st Century Fox. This was the big one. Disney paid $71 billion to buy Fox. Why? Because Fox owned The Simpsons, Avatar, X-Men, Fantastic Four, dozens of other massive franchises. Oh, and Fox also owned Hulu, one of the biggest streaming platforms. Now Disney owns that too. 2019, Disney launches Disney Plus, their own streaming service. Now Disney controls movies, TV shows, streaming, merchandise, theme parks. They own the entire pipeline, from creation to distribution to your living room. And here's the genius part. Other studios can't compete with this. Why other studios can't win anymore? Let's say you're a small studio. You make an incredible movie. Critics love it, audiences love it. Great. Now what? You need to get it into theaters, but Disney owns some of the biggest theater partnerships. You need it on streaming, but Disney owns Disney Plus, and they own part of Hulu. You want it on TV? Disney owns ABC. You want merchandise? Disney has the biggest licensing network in the world. At every single step, Disney is already there. So even if your movie is better, Disney's movie will be everywhere, and yours won't. Over time, audiences start to think, wow, Disney makes everything. But that's not true. Disney just controls where everything appears. And once you control distribution, quality becomes optional. You don't need the best content, you just need the most visible content. Here's where it gets really smart. Disney didn't force you to watch their stuff. They didn't ban other studios. Instead, they made their content so familiar that choosing anything else feels weird. Think about it. You grew up with Disney. Your parents grew up with Disney. Your kids are growing up with Disney. When you see a new Disney movie coming out, you don't question it, you just go. Because Disney feels safe, predictable, comfortable. That's not an accident, that's by design. Disney doesn't need to make risky, creative, groundbreaking films anymore. They just need to make familiar ones. Sequels, reboots, live-action remakes, franchise extensions. The Lion King, 1994, to The Lion King 2019 remake. Aladdin, 1992, to Aladdin 2019 remake. Beauty and the Beast, 1991, to Beauty and the Beast 2017 remake. Why? Because nostalgia is the safest bet. You already loved these stories as a kid, so Disney just sells them to you again, and again, and again. And it works, because comfort beats creativity. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Disney's dominance didn't hurt Disney, obviously, but it hurt everyone else. Smaller studios struggle, original films get ignored, risky ideas don't get funded. Because why take a risk when you can just make another Marvel movie? Investors don't want risk, they want guaranteed returns. And Disney has proven they can deliver guaranteed returns. So money flows to Disney and away from smaller creators. The result? Fewer original stories, more sequels, more reboots, more familiar content. And audiences don't even realize what they're missing because the system is so smooth, so seamless, so comfortable that it feels like freedom. But it's not. It's just a very well-designed cage. Here's the final crazy part. Disney can release a bad movie and still win. Let's say Disney makes a Marvel movie. It flops at the box office. Okay, so what? They still made money from merchandise, streaming views on Disney Plus, theme park rides, licensing deals, toy sales. The movie itself, that's just one piece. And even if the movie loses money, Disney collects data. They learn what audiences didn't like. They adjust. They try again. And because Disney owns the entire ecosystem, they can afford to fail. Smaller studios, one flop and they're done. They can't recover. But Disney? Failure is just another input. They keep going, keep adjusting, keep dominating. Because they're not competing anymore. They are the game. So what does this mean for you? You might be thinking, okay, so Disney is powerful, so what? I still enjoy their movies. Fair, and you should. If you like Marvel or Star Wars or Pixar, that's great. But here's the thing, you should at least be aware of what's happening. Because when one company controls this much of the entertainment industry, a few things happen. 1. Less variety. If Disney decides certain types of stories don't fit their brand, those stories don't get made. 2. Less risk. Studios avoid original ideas because sequels and franchises are safer bets. 3. Less competition. When Disney dominates, other studios shrink or disappear, and competition is what drives quality. The more power one company has, the less choice you have. And the scary part? Most people don't even realize their choices have shrunk, because the illusion of choice still exists. You can pick Marvel, or Star Wars, or Pixar, or Disney Animation, but they're all the same company. Disney didn't become powerful because they made the best movies. They became powerful because they redesigned the system so that quality stopped mattering as much. They didn't compete in the game, they changed the rules of the game. And once you change the rules, you don't need to be the best. You just need to be everywhere. And Disney? Disney is everywhere. From your childhood to your adulthood to your kids' lives. You never left. And that was always the plan. Pretty mind-blowing, right? So there you have it. How Disney quietly built the most powerful entertainment empire in history, not by making the best content, but by controlling where content lives. If this changed how you see Disney, hit that subscribe button, because I break down corporate strategies and hidden power structures like this. Drop a comment. Did you realize how much Disney actually owns? And do you think this kind of control is dangerous, or is it just smart business? Oh, and if you're wondering how other tech giants like Google, Amazon, or Apple are building similar ecosystems, let me know. I might make that my next deep dive. Thanks for watching. You just learned something most people will never think about when they sit down to watch the next Marvel movie. See you in the next one.